Well, hello again, and welcome back to another edition of Austin's American Flyer, where today I'm joined by Steve Howard. And Steve has a great story about getting connected with American Flyer, and I'm going to ask him to share a little bit about that. And then, after that, we're going to do an unboxing, which is going to be pretty awesome. So, Steve, how in the world did you get yourself connected to American Flyer?
Well, thanks for asking, Austin. I like a lot of people at my age. I'm a pre-boomer, not a post-boomer. Born in '44. First train set I can remember my dad had was a Lionel set. But sometime around 48 or 49 for Christmas, Santa Claus, and I used the air quotes, brought in a two-rail train. Of course, I learned that's American Flyer. And my dad, I can distinctly remember him telling me that it's more authentic because it's two-rail track. And every Christmas after that, there was another American Flyer set, and then another American Flyer set. Unfortunately, in '53, he passed away. But the American Flyer spirit has hung with me. About that time, maybe 54, 55, I found for birthday a Rocket AA set, and it was knuckle coupler. Everything else was link coupler I had. So I learned that there was a conversion kit, and for the rest of the 50s, I was playing and running with American Flyer trains, off and on throughout the rest of my life until, a number of years ago, maybe 10 or 15, I became re-involved with American Flyer. And I still love it today. Unfortunately, at some point, if you live long enough, it's time to start downsizing and moving. So I've been looking to sell some of the collection, and you've been a happy customer of mine.
Been a happy recipient. Yeah. Oh, that's a great, actually quite concise version of your story.
Well, I was always an American Flyer Guild person, and when I lost contact for years between getting married and then having cars and careers and stuff like that, I became aware that there's this, American Express. Listen, Dan, you're going to have to edit that out. I became aware that American Flyer was out of business. They'd been purchased by Lionel, and I started to see some more Flyer later on coming up, and I picked up a few pieces for that, and I liked some of the stuff, especially the PAs. They had beautiful ones. So then the interest gradually became stronger and stronger until I ended up with about an 8 by 24 foot layout when I was in the northeast of Atlanta. Then we have since moved. The landlord of my house did not give me enough space in the basement at the next house, so. But I was still armchair railroading a lot, and now I got to the point where I was looking to find a worthy beneficiary, a purchaser, if you will, of material that I had, which has been a combination of Gilbert and Lionel and MTH and American models. Okay. So that's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
All right. So what that means is starting today, and over the next while, you'll see a little bit of different equipment showing up on this channel. We're gonna review some of the stuff that I've purchased from Steve that is non-AC Gilbert, and hopefully that'll be beneficial to those of you that have some of that in your collection. I plan on kind of investigating how things are put together, some points that might be helpful to maintenance with lubrication, and assuming there are no surprises, then we'll do some running of it. If there are surprises that things don't work, then we may have to come up with a plan B or C or whatever it takes to get things working again. So, all right. Well, Steve, thank you very much for that. Why don't we do a little unboxing here and take a look at what's in there?
I think the first one we'll take a look at, and like I told Austin, it's been a while since I've run anything, so there's no guarantees except for the fact that he'll have fun. So this is the shipping carton of American Flyer Southern Berkshire 2716. It is quite a beautiful engine. I love the Hudsons and the Berkshires. Well, let's see if we can get this thing out.
Okay.
A little bit of help from my friend here.
All right.
They got there. Just the booklet. Thank you. And we're unlike most men. We will read the instructions.
There are some things that's important, especially if we're looking to see, okay, what might be good things to do if an engine's been either not run before or not run in a very long time. There's that. So Steve, I'll just spin this around so folks can see it out there. What can you say about this engine? Like why were you interested in this particular road name?
Well, first thing is, born and raised in the South, still live in the South, and I've always been a fan of Southern Railway, Atlantic Coastline, L&N, most of the Southern roads. Mm-hmm. Not opposed to any of them because, first and foremost, a rail fan and toy trains as far as it goes. So this one, when Lionel came out with a flyer chief, which intrigued me a little bit. I'm a kind of a technology nerd at times, but with the remote control, simplifying the wiring, etc. But I think when you see this, if you haven't already seen one, it is a very beautiful locomotive. Mm-hmm. It has very little runtime on it, maybe half an hour. I might be able to stretch it out to an hour if I really think about it. But it probably coming out of the box is going to need the same preparation and care that you normally do on something brand new. So whichever end you want.
Maintenance. Okay, here's something that's pretty key. So if you're a traditional flyer modeler and you happen to get your hands on one of these, the manual here says you want constant 18 volt. Now, not all American Flyer transformers can do that. So you want to make sure your transformer is capable of 18 volts. And some transformers can do more than that, especially if you have a Lionel Z or some of the bigger Lionel AC transformers that you're using, or MTH. You want to be careful to not exceed that. So pretty important to keep that in mind. Okay, so here we have a Southern switch. Now, I wonder if there's batteries in here.
I don't know. I promise you it will not work without batteries.
It does, the light comes on, so that tells us the batteries are in there now. Not crazy. Ooh-wee! Look at that. Oh, and it's heavy. Wow!
It got some heft to it.
This tender, I kid you not.
Is that not gorgeous?
It's not only beautiful, but that thing is about as heavy as a 280 cast flyer. That is really, really something. Now, it said something about electromagnetic couplers. So these actually don't have a drop-down weight. You can actually press a button to couple or uncouple with them. That's pretty slick.
But sometimes, as you mentioned, technology is not always our friend when it doesn't work.
When it doesn't work. Now, what's that thing there in the corner? Is that a screwdriver?
You might have to read the instruction. I think it has something to do with
Nut driver?
putting on the tires or whatever. And honestly, I can't remember.
Okay, so
There's a silica pack there.
and there's a,
That's with smoke, I guess.
okay.
There you go.
Is there, so we got a pipette, okay. That'd all be worth some bonus points remembering what to call those things.
It really
That's
should.
high school chemistry right
I
there.
gotta say, you passed chemistry.
Okay,
I
so
love chemistry.
so this is interesting. So there's a picture here that shows where to oil the engine, and it kind of looks like what you'd imagine you'd want to do on a flyer engine that's been sitting. Now, there's nothing about oiling the armature bearings or anything like that, but behind all the drive wheels, you want to put a little bit of oil so it gets to the axles. And it looks like a tiny bit on the motion, so side rods.
I think this is the first time this has been handled without me having gloves on. So.
Oh boy. So we should have gloves.
Well, that just seemed to be my preference in the past. But
Yeah. All right, so just again, so for those of you that are watching this, the manual recommends a little tiny bit of oil behind each drive wheel, and then kind of the middle of the motion here, the main rod. Is it saying, yeah, and the crosshead as well. So those are points of contact. Now, underneath the cab here, we have an on-off switch for chuff. We have an on-off for smoke. And there's a remote or transformer switch. Let's see if there's anything at the bottom of our tender here. Nope. Okay. Yeah, doesn't look like there's hardly any runtime on this thing. So, okay, your locomotive quick traction tires. You've got a 360 nut driver. Okay, that's what that steel thing was.
Right.
Okay.
Fortunately, I never had to use it.
Yeah.
But like I say, it may have half an hour on it.
Okay.
But that's one I recommended to Austin that we go ahead and service it, because I honestly cannot recall. Oh, no, we won't over-service it. I mean, we won't over-oil it.
Right. So, okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go grab a few things from the roundhouse is what I call it, my workbench. I'm going to bring them out here, just lubrication, a little bit of smoke fluid, and we'll just do that right here. And then we'll plug everything together and we'll put it on the layout and see what we can do.
Sounds good.
All right. So per your recommendations, we're going to do that. And we'll just, again, make sure it's got all kinds of loving. Do something like that.
There you go.
And then we'll put the one foam piece on top of the other one. Okay, so now it's got lots of cushion. I'll keep my hand grease off. Now, one thing that I've heard from others, and I see evidence of this here, is with these Berkshires, the front wheels are actually a source of pickup. And so some people have experienced some periodic hesitancy when running, where it'll kind of stutter along. And that has to do with this front truck losing contact. Looks like the trailing wheels are the same way. So that's going to be something to look at. My track is certainly not super smooth, so I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we have some hesitancy at times.
Well,
we'll see.
The newer stuff is probably not as tolerant as the older Gilbert stuff.
Right. Now I'm putting one drop that's coming out of the end of my applicator here. Then as instructed, I'm going to put one drop there. One drop here, same thing on this side. And I think what I'll do is go to the back of the washer there on the main drive. Okay.
Care and feeding of your little baby.
Looks like you got a little bit extra there. Now underneath there I see electronics. So all kinds of stuff going on. Now, I see this is set to remote. So maybe we'll leave that there. Chuff is on, smoke is on. So let's make sure we've got a little bit of smoke fluid in here. Make sure that I'm lined up correctly. Oh, that's a big open hole. Okay. Well, it's going to be pretty hard to make a mess there.
Leave it to me.
Well, some of those Flyer, especially the later Atlantics, their smoke generators don't line up with the smokestack opening. So it is really hard not to make a big old mess. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drops is all we're going to do. Little dab will do ya. Okay. So the next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and put this all together, wiring wise. Steve, do you remember doing that?
It's been a while.
Okay.
But yes.
All right. So. Oh, so that just fits down in
It
there.
just drops in there.
Oh, it's not even Yeah, so
It's really a wonderful system.
wow. Okay, so
Just
this
push down on it a little bit.
there's no plug. It's kind of like a port for a computer cabling. So that's it. That's all she wrote, but it doesn't get any simpler than that in terms of putting it together. All right, let's see. Is there anything else? It says, ensure you have 4 drops of smoke fluid in the smokestack. Whoops. Guess I did too many. Okay. Well, let's take it back there and see what happens.
Time to run it.
Time to run it. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is take the throttle to
18.
18. Okay.
The light will come on. Maybe. I can't remember. This.
Yep, the light came on right away.
Okay.
Okay, now it's,
Oh, you hear it? And that beeping is waiting for a signal.
okay.
So to turn this on, I'll turn this on. Then you get the compressor sound, steam sound.
Okay.
And it's ready for action.
Just that quick.
Yep.
All right. Let me.
Signal for forward.
Now it's interesting to note it's definitely smoking now, but kind of like Flyer, it took a little bit for that to heat up after it was started. So again, if you have one of these, just note it's not necessarily instantaneous, right?
Right. Transformer is running between 16 to 18 volts right now.
16 to 18, and it's set on 16. Okay. Okay.
She's a smoker.
And actually, I like the fact that it's smoke, but it's not so completely dominating. Sometimes I've seen them where,
Oh, yeah.
It's-
Couldn't see the layout for the smoke.
yeah, which I end up getting there pretty quick with
Yeah.
Flyer engines, but this is great.
Responds real well to the remote. I cannot they run them too fast, but that's about half throttle according to the remote.
Okay.
A little bit more. Love the whistle.
That is a very beautifully painted engine. I really like the way they did that.
Yeah, and the red roof in the back of the tender.
All right. Should we add a load?
Yeah, I think it needs a good freight drag, don't you?
It seems like and I guess it's a
Reckon we got
southern.
one somewhere we can put something on.
Well, it seems like if it's a southern engine,
Probably need some southern cars. Don't
yeah, southern. All right. Let's see what we can do.
We? All right.
All right.
Okay.
Whoa! Perfect. All right. There you go.
Oh.
Oops, too far. Okay, right there. Perfect. Okay, let me get the boxcar. There it goes. Okay, you want to do the tender? Oh, you did it already. Okay. All right.
Oh, it's doing that. Okay.
I didn't hear any whistles.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. There we go. All right. And it was in a crossing.
Yeah.
We broke
Broke
about
both rules.
broke all kinds of rules right there.
So fire me. that.